Foundation, I encourage my younger female youth also to join the project such that they can see the change.
Andi mulimi wa nnyaanya natandika okulima ennyaanya zino mwaka gwa 2018.
Our esteemed youth, the head of state, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, has arrived amidst us and is going to start with a visit to the exhibition stalls erected by the youth, by yourselves. Once he finishes the inspection of the stall amidst us, Your Excellency, you're most welcome to join these young people, these your children, your bazukulu, the youth who are participating in this.
This has been the problem of Africa and its leaders, especially in the last 400 years. The Africans have been asleep, especially their leaders. The story of the human race starts 4.5 million years ago. That is when man evolved from lower primates to what we came to call Homo sapiens sapiens, meaning an intelligent man. Now, this Homo sapiens sapiens has been the agent of development and transformation. Why? Because of three characteristics. First of all, unlike other animals, he has got a superior brain, a brain which has got more convolutions on the cortex of the brain. Therefore, able to think and reason instead of acting by instinct like the other animals. This is the first characteristic. The second one is bipedalism. Instead of walking on 4 legs or crawling on the ground like the snakes I saw there when we were coming. This frees your eyes to see far and your brain to think more. When a snake is in the grass, maneuvering around, doesn't have time to think. It is too busy negotiating through those obstacles. Now, finally, the human being has got a hand, this hand, engaro, which can hold tools and do work. It is these three characteristics that enabled man to understand the laws of nature. What they call science is really understanding the laws of nature. Gravity, wind, light, sound, and all those natural laws and use them to solve man's problems. And it has been a long journey. About 1.5 million years ago, man was able to invent fire. This was a big revolution, invention of fire. Because before that, man didn't understand fire and couldn't use it. But when he invented fire, it helped him solve so many problems. Then, learning the domestication of crops, knowing that instead of following crops in the bush, you can take some seeds and grow them in a controlled way. Then my tribe, the Wanyankore, many years ago, learned how to domesticate cows. Those cows were wild animals. We were able to tame them and domesticate them and use them. And so we were able to domesticate other animals, goats and so on. Then the iron, the invention of iron. This was a big achievement. Now, the problem of Africa is that somehow, in the last 600 years, the Africans have been asleep. They withdrew from inventing and they just sat and started using only what they knew. That's how a gap was created between us and especially the Europeans. And the Europeans used that gap to come and conquer us and cause problems for us here, and also for other parts of the world. It started with the invention of gunpowder. Gunpowder, those of you who have studied chemistry know what it is. Initially it was potassium nitrate mixed with some few other things, where you have these solids or powders in a confined space. Once you provoke them, they change from powder or solid to gas. And you who have studied physics, you know that the gas has the property of expansion. Gases expand. And when that one happens, that pressure is able to expel a solid, which we call a projectile, that can do bad things, can kill you. That's how the Chinese are the ones who invented gunpowder. But the ones who used it first were the Europeans. Now, by monopolizing that knowledge, they were able to come here from the time of, and the pressure for the Europeans started in 1453 when the Ottoman Turks captured Constantinople, what is now called Istanbul. The Turks blocked the Europeans from going to the east. There was an old route which had been discovered by a man called Marco Polo, which you fellows you should have heard about in your, who got about Sierra Leone in about 1470 something, got to where Angola is now in 1482, a man called, a Portuguese man called Diego Cama. Maybe you were asleep, you didn't know, because you had your own way of life. But when these new people came, the Portuguese initially, coming with gun. Now that you have woken up, the only other issue is to link the waking up about science. And of course, we're having the issue of the social sciences. What is the role of the social sciences? The role of the social sciences help to understand society. How society is organized and why. The role of natural science helps us to understand yourself first of all, to know who you are, what makes you, what makes us, and then our environment, our natural environment, what makes our natural environment, and how can we use it to have a better quality of life. Now, the moment you wake up about the two, understanding yourself and your surroundings, your natural surroundings, and understanding society, which is social science, history, sociology, languages, and all that, then you now need to focus on economics. Economics. What determines economics? Because what you do should be profitable in order to be sustainable. And there, you should start with the human needs. What does the human being need? The human being needs food, number one. And I'm very happy. I'm a very reliable supporter of you people because I produce milk for you and beef for you. So I'm a very proud man. Said I am contributing to the basic needs of these people. That's why you are not importing milk from anywhere. You're not importing beef. I am one of the contributors. Then other people, I also grow bananas for you. And I'm very happy with that. Janet recently started growing avocado. I hear it is useful also somehow. But I will understand it more. Avocado, what does it do? But for me, with the milk, with the beef, with the bananas, I'm a very proud man, a very proud contributor to Uganda, to Africa. And other people are growing maize, beans, and so on. So one of the youth, when you are looking for the enterprises, one of the enterprises you should always look at is food. Food production and food processing and food preservation. If you can do anything there, you can't go wrong. You see what happened with Corona and the war in Ukraine. Some people are saying, oh, we are going to die. Why are you going to die? That there was no wheat from Ukraine. Well, why are you eating wheat? I don't eat wheat. I'm not a European. I'm an African, PO box, private bag in Tungamo. So I eat, cassava is here, bananas are here. I saw one of the girls from somewhere with a kalo, with the millet. Who was showing millet there? There was somebody who was showing millet. Who was it? Come to the front. Come. oyo yewanga oyo. Where do you process the millet from?
We get it from Bushenyi.
Bushenyi.
Yes, please.
Can you educate these people what is in millet, or you don't know?
I know. Millet.
That's what, the other day I was in Kitgum for independence, and I told you that you live and done what you ought. I cannot eat. The last time I ate rice was before the defeat of Idi Amin. Thank you, Adongo. Thank you, Adongo. And the other girl, what is your name?
I'm called Bako Annabelle.
Annabelle. Thank you. Annabelle is European name. What's your real name?
Thank you.
Your name is what? The African one?
Bako.
Bako.
Yes.
What does Bako mean?
Bako means no relatives. I'm from Arua.
Oh, Arua.
Yes.
Awade 4.
Odd 4.
Thank you.
Welcome.
The last time I ate rice is when I was in Tanzania fighting Idi Amin. Otherwise, why would I eat rice? What is Adongo? You tell us the food values of rice. Vietnamese were telling me about rice. And I want to think of a polite way of discouraging them, not telling me about rice. I was with Dr. Baryomunsi. You know, Baryomunsi is a huge man. So I told Baryomunsi, I said, Baryomunsi, you stand there. Let these Vietnamese see you. Then I said, you Vietnamese, how much rice do you need to feed this monster, this huge man? So I said, please, don't tell me about rice. Let's talk about other things. We have got our foods, very good foods. Actually, we need to export them to the world and help the world to have a better diet. So therefore, number one, in your business, now that you have woken up, number one need is food. Number two, so food growing, food processing, food storage. You can't go wrong there if you are anywhere in that chain. Second need of human is clothing. So I'm very glad to see you people struggling with the textiles. I saw some of the young people with textiles, the shoes. I'm glad you are now no longer importing shoes. You are making your own shoes, the blankets, clothing. This is the second human need. You can look on the internet. Do we have somebody from Ministry of Trade here? Anybody from the economy side? That Bank of Uganda man is supposed to be some economist of some sort. Come and tell us, Bank of Uganda, how many dollars do we spend on clothing each year? Do you know or you don't know? I am sure of a regional market. I am sure of a global market, provided my products are good. Then the next is shelter. And I'm glad some of the young people have woken up. They are making construction materials. I saw there, making building materials. This is a huge area because people cannot live without shelter. Building material for the walls, for the roof, for the support of the structures and so on. Then health, and I'm glad some of the young people were involved in the medical using the traditional herbs there was one who was making anti-eczema. The one who was making anti-eczema from Omusa, Omugavu, Albizia. Who is that one? The young lady who was making anti-eczema. Come and...
Kashija Maureen.
Who?
Kashija Maureen.
Kashija.
Yes.
That is more understandable.
Thank you. We are a cosmetics manufacturing company. We make eczema products, especially from Mugavu. We use Mugavu leaves and flowers in Vaseline and in soap.
You make anti-eczema, not eczema one?
Yes, anti-eczema. Thank you, Excellency.
Thank you. So this is a huge area. Thank you so much. We call it pathogenic economy. Pathogenic economy, starting with the vaccines, the diagnostics, the disinfectants, the therapeutics. It's a huge business. Huge business. I think your staff here, your secretariat led by Nyamutoro, they should give you these figures. What is the global business of pharmaceuticals, for instance? How much money is spent on medicines globally? Secondly, how much is Uganda importing in terms of medicines? You will see huge opportunity. Then now you come to mobility. Mobility. This is the other important human need. People in the past used to walk on foot, then they started traveling on horseback, and now people are moving around in vehicles. That business of vehicles. Then security. Security. You remember the original problem of Africa was lagging behind in the technology of security. When we lagged behind in gunpowder, that was our biggest mistake. We are now not going to lag behind again. We are making our own weapons, and we shall continue improving. So I was happy to see some of you people making some gadgets there was somebody who was making a communication gadget to communicate in terms of danger. Who is that one? Come and we see you. Somebody was making an alarm, something. Who was that? What happened to that one? An alarm? To use science to solve problems of society, you need to cluster those problems into what? For me, I have tried to cluster them for you here. Food needs, clothing needs, shelter needs, health needs, mobility needs, security needs. You can add on your own lists. Entertainment, that one I have not talked about here. So that then you should check the demand within Uganda, the demand within Africa, because we have created for you a common market of Africa. We had to work from 1980 at the Lagos conference. Our leaders woke up. This had been 20 years since independence. They woke up and said, if we don't create one African market, we shall never get out of poverty. Because you can have a continent of a lot of natural resources, but if it is badly organized economically and politically, it will never get out of poverty. Look at Latin America. Latin America has got more natural resources than the United States. But you watch on TV, people from South America are walking on foot to go to the United States because of the misery in Latin America. Why? Because Latin America is disorganized politically and economically. There's no way you can make business in Latin America and you succeed. In Guatemala, in Uruguay, in what? Those are rich in presidents but poor in everything else. Have a lot of presidents, they come to meetings, a lot of gun salutes, but poor in everything else. Now, the United States, whatever you think about the President Americans who are there now, they are leaders. But the original ones, like Washington and others, had a better view when they united the 13 American colonies, British colonies, into the nucleus of the United States. That big market is the one which has made the United States to overtake these small European countries, UK, France, all those small countries, because for them they were stuck in their old narrowness. British, whatever, Francais, I don't know what. Now, this United States became easier for business to operate in. Because if I was in the USA, I would now be a billionaire. Because I would sell my milk from New York to California, a land area of 3 million square miles, a population of 320 million. So now the future is now going to belong to those big countries. You have seen how China has overtaken those small countries of Europe. It is now the second biggest economy, China. All those little countries, UK, what have you, those are wako nyuma huko. Now, India is coming up. Russia is a very powerful country. Although the population is not so big, it's about 140 million, but it's a huge country. And it will come up after they get out of their confusion, which they had at some time. Therefore, we in Africa, we couldn't be part of that confused group. We were very happy that our leaders in 1980, some of us were still fighting, but those who were in charge, they met in Lagos, and they launched what they call the Lagos Plan of Action. You can check it on your internet, you will see what it was. But it was saying, Africa to be prosperous, we needed to have a common market. That's how we started with the East African, with COMESA, what became COMESA. And East African Community. And now we are talking about the African Common Market. So we have now created that African market for you. It's there. There's the Ugandan market, there's the East African market, there's the African market. So you should check. When I talk of textiles, what is the size of business in Uganda of textiles? What is the size of business of textiles in East Africa? What is the size of business of textiles in the whole of Africa? How about globally? Because you should also look at the global to be able to export to the external world. So finally, I will have a meeting with your leaders, Nyamutoro's group, so that we discuss about the funding for your innovations. Of course, there is already money in UDB. We are putting that money there. But why can't the youth access it? Why can't we have, is UDB here? Are they here? They are not here. We shall meet and we shall definitely fund these innovations if they are They have got a clear business perspective. Now, finally, when we finish singing the anthem, I will pass by the European Union pavilion. I am glad these Europeans, I really feel sorry for them because they had a lot of opportunities, but they have been misusing them. I don't know why. They come to tell me how to organize elections. How to organize elections? I am an expert on elections. You can call me to help you, but so how to organize elections, how to handle homosexuals, please. I know how to handle homosexuals. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Mundeke. So you tell these Europeans, say Mutuleke. Mutuleke. But otherwise, you can hear that I am speaking to you in English. I'm not speaking Chinese. I'm not speaking Russian. I'm not speaking Turkish. I'm not speaking Hindi. I'm speaking English. So I can easily work with you people, with you the Europeans, if you are disciplined. The problem is that they lack discipline. Somebody comes to your house, say, this chair should be, you man, you have just come to my house. You should sit where I show you. Not to tell me this chair should be here. This is bad manners. So, but these young people in the embassy are good young people. That young man is, I know him. And the girl is from where? You will tell me where you are from. The young man is from Sweden. Sweden looked after my children very well and my wife. They are disciplined in Sweden. So I will pass by their exhibition. Thank you very much. I want to thank Nyamutoro. I didn't know that she had understood my vision so well. Together with her group, Rugumayo. You know where Rugumayo is? You don't know whether he's from Congo or from Uganda? Rugumayo, you go and tell them where you are from, your group. And he's the member of parliament for the other side of the Rugumayos, on the Congo side. So I'm glad you are, with your group, you are waking up. Chirabo, the Okot, the man from Tororo, what is his name? The Tororo man. No. Let us solve problems, especially poverty and lack of jobs. The Tororo man.
Your Excellency, sir, my name is Odoi Onen Mutusa.
Odoi. Warwaswa.
Afoya Ladit.
Very good. These people don't know our language. Thank you very much.
Esteemed youth, can we give His Excellency a better round of applause? We will then have a gift of a plaque handed over to His Excellency by your lead coordinator of this business forum. Can we get the plaque handed over to His Excellency? And it is being done there by the youth MPs led by Honorable Fiona Nyamutoro, the chairperson.